Hi, guys. Okay, this is day 2 of A Flag for Our Town. This is the reading lesson for martes 15 de septiembre. So the reading lesson for Tuesday, the 15th of September. We are going to read A Flag for Our Town by Jane Simon again. Now, before we read it, in your packet, in your reading packet, I want you guys to answer the first question. So the first question is write a short story, or I'm sorry, a short summary of the story. So remember, a summary tells us the most important details, but not everything that happened. Okay, we've talked about it a little bit. What was the problem? Okay, who caused the problem and who fixed it? Those two things would be very important things to include in your summary. So think about the story, think. Who caused the problem? Who fixed it? Okay? Go ahead and pause this video and answer that question number 1 on your worksheet. Okay, so hopefully you have paused the video, you have answered that question number 1, and we will move on to the next part now. Okay, so yesterday when we read this, we focused on the characters' actions and what they were doing and how they were. Today we're going to focus on the words that help us understand the character's point of view. So remember, point of view is the character's opinion about something. Okay, let's read the story. A Flag for Our Town by Jane Simon. Our group assignment was to design a flag for a parade to honor our town. My group included a new girl named Martina, me, and Carl, the biggest, loudest kid in our class. Right away, Carl thought he should be group leader so he could tell everybody what to do. How are we ever going to work together? I wondered. If I can't be the leader, then I quit, Carl sulked. Meanwhile, Martina just sat there. I wondered if she even understood the assignment, because she doesn't speak English very well yet. Then she surprised me by getting out some colored pencils and paper. Without saying a word, she drew some symbols and shapes for our flag. She worked symbols that represented our town into her design. Boy, was I wrong about her! After she and I colored everything in together, even pouty old Carl liked the results. Looks pretty cool, he admitted. But I get to carry our flag in the parade, right? Okay, so the question now is to describe the point of view. Describe the point of view of the narrator. So that's the person that was telling the story. Tell the point of view of the narrator. How did he feel about his group? And what part of the story helps you know how he feels? So please pause and answer the question, how did the narrator feel about his group? And how do you know how he feels? Okay, I hope you have paused this video and answered question number 2 about the narrator's point of view. Let's talk about the next question. Question number 3. You have to compare and contrast El Colam de Daddy and A Flag for Our Town. What was the same in the two stories and what was different? So compare means to tell what's the same. Contrast means to tell what's different. So when I say compare and contrast, you're going to give some things that are the same, some things that are different, okay, between those two stories. So go ahead and pause your video and answer question number 3. What are some things that are the same, and what are some things that are different about these two stories? Okay, hopefully you've paused and done your best to answer question number 3. I want to talk about that one a little bit. So if we're comparing the two stories, we can look at what happened in the story. So A Flag for Our Town, the story we read today, was very simple. There was just a group of kids. They had to work on a project. One of the kids was whiny and didn't want to work. And then one didn't speak very good English, but she ended up being the one that got started and fixed the problem. So one kid caused the problem by not wanting to work and being whiny. And then the second kid, Martina, she fixed the problem. So that's kind of what happens in A Flag for Our Town. What happens in El Culam de Daddy? Well, that one's a little more complicated. We know that there's a girl and she's upset with her grandma for a few different reasons about her being in the country. But then once they have a similar interest, so they both like drawing, they get closer. But does that mean that the problem is fixed? No, the problem isn't fixed. Shashi, the girl in El Kulam de Dadi, is still upset about those things, but she just gets along better with her grandma now because they both like drawing. Whereas in A Flag for Our Town, when Martina draws the flag, that fixes the problem. There is no problem anymore. So that can be kind of the differences. This story that we just read today is simple versus the other one is more complicated. Something else that we could say is that's similar, something that's the same, is that in each story the characters have to deal with a problem. So in each story there is a problem, and they have to figure out how to fix this problem. Now in both the stories, the problem is with other people. So in A Flag for Our Town, the problem is with Carl. Carl is very annoying, and he doesn't want to work, and he's whiny, and he's bossy, and he wants to be the leader. In El Colam de Daddy, the problem is between the grandma and the granddaughter. Also two people. So the people are different, like it's a group of classmates or a grandma and a granddaughter, but both of the problems are with people, and both have to be solved by people working together better or getting along better. Okay, that's all for today. Please make sure that you fill out all your questions on here. Remember that you have to turn this in at the end of the week. Okay, bye.